Welcome along to episode 805 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest and
Ellie Taylor.
had to think about that one. Here with you. I'm here as ever, as Zoe as on occasion these days.
Phoebe.
Busy show ahead. But before we do, I mean, what's been going on in your world? We like to have a catch up every once in a while.
I am very busy getting ready for my Christmas fair on the 7th of December, Jason.
Yeah, because this all ties in with your fundraising because we haven't spoken since you climbed a big hill.
No, it is towards my target for Crisis UK. So all the people that are coming to sell things have all paid something to be there, and that's going to my donation. But I'll be doing raffles and all sorts as well. So
So that's going to be good. But tell us about the hill climb thing.
oh yeah, it was so hard, Jason. Have I not spoken to you about it
No,
since?
no, no. So remind us which mountain it was.
It was Mount Tubalc, is it in Morocco?
I don't. You went there. I don't
I
know.
know, but I can't pronounce it. But yeah, it's their highest mountain. It was 3 days climb, and the middle day was obviously the worst because it was going up to the summit and coming back down again. And oh my, mate, it was awful. Well, I got about 30. I felt poorly probably for about the last hour's climb. So about half an hour towards getting to the top, I could physically see it, and I just sat down. I thought, oh, it's fine. I've seen it. I don't need to do any more.
You do. You
But
were
I thought,
sponsored. You had to go to the top, so you did it.
yeah, I thought, no, I'm going to have to go. But I did have to have some stuff off the doctor. A lot of us did, to be fair. It's a good job we had a doctor with us, else I'd say at least, there was 60 in our team. We split into 30, two lots of 30, and I reckon at least 10 of us probably wouldn't have made it, maybe. Two people didn't actually get there. They had to be sent back down again. So yeah, it was hard. It was the altitude sickness, not really. I mean, it was quite hard climbing.
Yeah,
And in the itinerary for the day,
yeah.
it said early start, but they didn't say it was going to be 3 o'clock in the morning early start.
They got you there.
Yeah. So we had
There.
to get up. We was up having breakfast at 3 o'clock.
Well,
And then we started out 3:30ish, and then we didn't get back till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was a good trek.
yeah. Well, I think it ought to be a good trek as well. But there we go.
Yeah,
So you had a
yeah,
good time with that one. So people, if they want to come along to your Christmas fair, where's it going to be?
yeah. It's Shifnal Village Hall, Shifnal. There's lots of free parking. It's free to get in.
Hmm.
You don't have a car, you can come on the train from Wolverhampton. Bus routes as well. No
Yeah.
excuse not to get here. So
Okay.
yeah,
What's the date again?
7th of December.
The time?
It is 11 till 4.
Okay. So
It's
that's
going to
it.
be
That's what
very
we need to know.
Christmassy.
Should,
Lots
should
of
we get on with
Christmas
talking about
stuff.
what's coming up on the show then?
Yes. It'll
Okay,
be
so
fun.
I'll be talking to comedian and actor Eddie Taylor alongside Alex Stedman from Rakuten, talking about Black Friday sales and how you can save some cash this Christmas. So we'll be doing that. I will also be talking to George Vernon all about how to get yourself into shape and how business leaders can get themselves into shape too. And by doing so, they actually help their businesses grow, which is a good one. We've got
Yeah.
music from Belle, and we've got a very special pair of guests when it comes to music, haven't we?
Oh, we have. We've got Shirley Lewis and Joe Garland, who are part of the George Michael Singers. He's going to be doing a fantastic show on the 10th of December. I'm hoping to get down there myself. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's at
I
the
want to be
Shepherd's
on the
Bush
list.
Empire, but that is an
Shepherd's Bush
amazing venue.
Empire.
Yeah, with
Yes.
some amazing singers, and we'll be finding out all about the show and what they have in store with the music of George Michael brought to life by his backing singers. So
Yeah.
that's going to be amazing. Loads more too. We'll also be talking about, you won't be able to see, but we'll be talking about the amazing Trentham Light Trail as well, which is also opening up in the next week or so too. So that's going to be worth a look. But this is episode 805 of the Milk Bar. That's all coming up on the show.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
Now, there are many tributes to George Michael, tribute acts performing his music, performing in his style. But when the people who have been part of his singing career, doing backing vocals and being part of the shows, are going to perform his music, you know it is going to be special. The 10th of December in London is going to bring some absolutely magic to your ears, all taking place at the Shepherd's Bush Empire. Shirley Lewis and Joe Garland are here to tell us about what's in store. How you doing?
Yeah,
Hello.
good.
Hi.
We've had a mega busy day, but we're happy to be here with you. So thank you for having us.
Well, so good to have you along. And as singers who have performed with George Michael, obviously, you know how these songs are supposed to sound live. Sadly, George isn't here to share them with us, but you and the team know exactly how to bring this music to life.
We do. You know, we've collectively we've all worked with him for over 35 years, something like that. And you know, he taught us how to sing those songs, you know, his songs, sorry. And yeah, we are the George Michael sound because of him and what he's taught us over the years.
Yeah.
You know, there's a specific tone, diction, you know, dynamically, how we phrase, timing, emotion behind it, because you can't not sing those songs without any kind of emotion, because you know that he's such a genius lyrically. You know, you just tap into all those lyrics, and it's, you know, that just brings out so many, and they mean so much to so many different people. So it's yeah, he's iconic in so many and on so many levels.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He's just it's not something that you can you can't mimic it really unless you've actually spent time with George. And I know there are a ton of tribute acts out there, and they do a fantastic job. And I think it's great for the fans to be able to connect with them and get a feeling of their idol and enjoy those evenings. But our show it's very different. It's definitely more of an emotional connection that we had with George that we'll be sharing, because we're sharing our stories from recording in the studio to being on tour with him. So, you know, there's a lot of fun and laughter in all of that, because we had such a great time, and he was the funniest guy and had the best sense of humor. But there's a lot of sadness too, because, you know, without George, there's a massive hole in our lives, and we're attempting to fill that hole with connecting with the fans, singing all together again, and just bringing his magic really back to the stage.
Yeah, it's going to be a slightly different format, isn't it? So people aren't just going to hear the songs again, they're going to hear stories that perhaps people haven't heard before as well, aren't they?
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's why we've called it an evening with, because we, you know, there's different intervals that each of us, the four of us, have entered into George's world, or vice versa. So we've each got you know, our own interpretations of how we entered into his life, and he, you know, so that but also each song has links into, well, there's just different stories, aren't they? And you know, it's, yeah, we're going to take the audience on a very emotional journey.
Yeah, it's definitely, and that's exactly what it is that Joe said. It's a journey. It's our journey, this through our eyes of how we connected with him and grew with him from, you know, the boy from Wham, you know, the boy from Wham did good. It's like, who knew that he was going to become such an iconic star, and we kind of watched him grow through that time. And yeah, it's going to, honestly, there are so many stories. You know, mine starts from the Wham final and recording with him, and Joe came in a slightly different way, because you actually signed to his label.
Yeah, I signed to his label at the very early age of 20, and yeah, there's a huge story behind that and how that happened, and then so I fell into kind of doing backing vocals for him. He just called me up one day and just said, "Oh, you fancy coming down to do some backing vocals?" And that was the Fast Love, and I ended up singing on the whole of the older album, and continuing through until, you know,
yeah, which I'm still not really going to forgive him for that. I mean, why would he ask you and not me? I don't know.
You've got the what do you got, the father figure?
Yeah, I've got
the faith.
Okay.
He likes to. There's a nice balance. Yeah.
With the four of you, though, I mean, Shirley Lewis, Joe Garland, Lucy Jules, and Jay Henry as well. And how do you split out who gets to be lead on any of the songs as you perform them?
I think it's dependent on the song choice, and who is attached emotionally to that song, what story is attached to that song, at the time of it. You have to come and see the show to see. Yeah, and you know, we sing collectively, you know, we sing individually. It's a real mix, but you know, the truth, you know, there is you can't, there's no denying that there is the George Michael sound is there. It's like, you know, the essence of George Michael is there. I mean, he taught us how to sing his songs, so it's like, it's almost like he's there with us when you listen, when you hear it.
Yeah, it was interesting actually. Tonight we did a TV show. I'm not going to mention the station in case I can't on your podcast, but we and they did a clip of us just singing in our rehearsal room, which is where we are now, and it cut to the 25 Live tour, and I was like, whoa, there's actually no degeneration in sound. Which was pretty phenomenal. And there's not a lot of people that you can listen to and then cut to an actual
from a rehearsal room to an
actual live performance that's been recorded. And I was like, whoa, that actually we sounded pretty good. I was really happy with that.
Are you slightly nervous? Because I know you've been singing these songs for years, but obviously this is to do him justice and to bring him to life, as it were. So are you slightly nervous as well as probably being excited?
Not one little inch. No.
I was nervous. I've had a bit of anxiety with regards to, I think, sort of, you know, just making sure that everything is right. You know, we've had a lot of, you know, this has been quite a long journey for myself and Shirley. We've just done like, oh right, let's do a gig. Woo, there we go. Right, you know, it's like it's been a long process, and you know, and we've wanted to get it right every step of the way, and so within those different processes, there's been a bit of a level of anxiety, and you know, we've the George Michael estate, you know, they've been incredibly supportive. We wanted to make sure that we've honoured George and they're happy with everything that we do. So that, you know, so that was that was anxiety a bit there. So it's just so, you know, but now all of that kind of stuff is done, and we're now into actually the show. I'm now starting to go, oh, I'm really enjoying this now, and so my nerves have definitely subsided. Shirley's just
the music
super cool.
And the music is they're really like, it's everything leading up to it and making sure that we've done everything right, because George was a perfectionist and he wouldn't want anything done, you know, like half-assed. So I was more nervous about just getting, you know, the musicians, which actually I've left completely to Jo because she was brilliant at it. So it's just making sure that everything was right in that respect. But as far as getting up and singing the songs and doing what I've been doing with him, but without him, I feel confident in my performance of the songs won't change from the way I performed them with George. So I do feel confident in that, and I'm very confident in the other singers. We have a definite magic. When we sing together, we all kind of just automatically go to those parts that are right for us, and it sounds amazing. Come and see the show.
That does sound very good.
But I mean, this is all helped for that. You've got George's musical director, Steve Sidwell, with you too.
Well, it doesn't hurt. And I don't know if you know that, but Steve was actually the trumpet player who was in the section at the Wham final. So that's how long Steve's known him as well.
Yeah. So, no, he was definitely the first, you know, absolute ultimate go-to. I mean, and musically, he's just a genius. He's like, I sort of class him as God bless Quincy Jones' soul, but I always say that Steve Sidwell is like our UK Quincy Jones.
He's amazing.
He is just an absolute genius. I have so much respect for him. He's super calm.
Yeah.
He's so lovely.
He's so lovely, and he's just the talent, and he deals with us messaging him, Steve, we want this, we want that. He's like, I've done it. It's fine. Okay.
Don't worry.
But he is in his capable hands. I'm really not worried about the musicality of the show because it's going to totally be on point.
And what can you give us a hint on what sort of songs you're going to be singing? Is there going to be a
absolutely not?
You need to do Last Christmas.
Oh,
Well, we were thinking about it's Christmas, it's a Christmas show, you know, shall we put it in? However, well, you're not that familiar with Last Christmas, are you, really?
no, I'm not. But you know, though we went over that today, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, but are we doing that one? Well, we don't know. We haven't decided whether we're doing that one.
No, there'll be a little a Christmassy vibe.
Put it this way, we're doing it from repertoire from Faith to Symphonica with a couple of Wham surprises thrown in. Say no more.
I have to
It's
say,
just got a huge amount of songs they'll have me to choose from. I imagine it was difficult to try and narrow it all down as to which
what's
one
your
you want to
favourite?
do.
What's your favourite Wham song?
I don't think it's Wham and Mother's Pride. It was a B-side, I think, and I absolutely love it.
Wow!
Yeah, it's amazing. Is
Love
that a
that.
surprise?
Love that.
No,
It's a surprise to
yeah,
me.
yeah. We could do a tour of all his B-sides. That'd be quite interesting.
Well, I mean, this is the thing.
B-side.
Is this going to turn into a tour? Obviously, we want to see this the first time, but I think people will want to be in Shepherd's Bush because the venue itself is iconic and it fits so well with the music, doesn't it? But this is something which we're hoping is going to grow into a huge UK, possibly global tour.
Well, we would.
We would love that.
We would love to. It takes, you know, anyone that's been involved in shows. It takes a lot to get it going. So,
and it takes a big amount of cojones to actually like to do what we're doing. It's actually your first show in London. I mean, it's like, you know, it's pretty brave. Yeah. It's pretty brave.
You mostly like a band would, you know, you go out and you do a few regional things and then you do your London show.
You do a little testy. But no, we're going straight in at the deep end. But we've you know, it's pretty much sold out. So we're super proud.
Yeah.
But you know, he's an amazing talent and a genius. So you just, you know, it's yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
We're also like the thing about when you say about am I nervous about doing? I'm not nervous about doing it. I'm more nervous about my emotions because I'm the emotional one in a band, and I cry at any little thing. And as soon as I start talking about Georgia, I have to say something, and I'm crying. So everyone's like my backup. So I said to him, okay, if I start talking, then I start crying, you have to take over this. Or if I'm going to sing a song, but I can't sing it because I'm like, then they have to do it. Yeah, I'm rubbish, really. But, you know, I don't know, my heart on my sleeve.
Well, this is going to be an absolutely huge event. Tickets are available via Live Nation. Just search for the show. And you're guaranteed emotion. You're going to be hearing the people who know these songs almost as well as George Michael did himself. Are you going to check you as well as George Michael?
Well, no, I was going to actually going to say, but what's the date of the show?
Oh, it is the town. Well, getting to that bit is
sorry.
It's Tuesday, the 10th of December. You absolutely have to be there. It's the O2 Shepherd's Bush Empire. That's what that's what we need to know.
You got a gold star. You got a gold star.
Well, one thing I have to say, and any fans that have been to George's show know that he was absolutely rubbish with his own lyrics. He's like so many of the wrong lyrics.
Need you all to sing along so you can help us with the words.
I know you're going to absolutely rock this one. All for your love of George, the audience's love of the music, and the fact that no one else on the planet can perform this the way you guys can. We're sadly missing the main man, but you're going to do him proud. We absolutely know that. Shirley Lewis, Joe Garland, and the rest of the gang. I think it's going to be a piece of sort of theatre too, because you're going to be sharing so much of yourselves, and there will be emotion there. So I'll say, break a leg, have a great time singing on stage, and this is an absolute go-to. Shepherd's Bush Empire, Tuesday, the 10th of December. It is worth making a good few days trip down there and pay homage to the amazing music of George Michael. An evening with the George Michael singers. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now, with Black Friday on the 29th of November this year, could it be you could be feeling a little unwell, allegedly? Maybe taking time off to get the most out of the sales. Do we need to do that? Do we need to set an alarm clock for stupid o'clock in the morning to make sure we get the best deals? Well, Ellie Taylor, comedian and actor, and also Alex Stedman, shopping expert from Rakuten, are joining me now to tell me how we work our way through this minefield of bargains. How are we doing both?
Very well, thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm glad to have you both along. So let's start, Ellie. When it comes to your shopping experiences, are you somebody who craves a good sale?
Oh my gosh, who doesn't love a bargain? I think Brits particularly, they're not only proud when they've, secured the item itself, but they like to brag about the bargain. I think we really enjoy, finding a good deal and sharing that. It's just a real win, isn't it? And Black Friday coming up, it's just such a big thing now. We all we know it. It's just a term that's so sort of easily understood. So yeah, it's sort of an exciting time. And I'm really pleased to be working with Rakuten, who are a cashback company, which means basically you buy stuff online for other people potentially, but with that you get cash back from that purchase, so you get someone else a present and you get yourself a little present as well.
Alex, this is our chance to double up on our Black Friday bargain because, as Ellie says, we're getting something, we get our gifts, we get them at a good price. It sounds like everyone's a winner here.
Yeah, completely. And I think Black Friday has become a real great time to save. And I think a lot of people will be using it as a chance to buy their Christmas presents. And usually we used to wait until January sales or past Christmas, but makes sense to have it before Christmas because then we can save our money that we're going to spend. And I think, overspending at Christmas is a thing that we need to watch. And I think Black Friday is a chance for people to save money, but then by using Rakuten Cashback, they get to make money.
Absolutely. But I mean, Ellie, well, can we condone some of the tricks people are going to come up with, whether it be the sick day or just sort of slacking off? Because everybody's doing it when it comes to doing those Black Friday bargain shopping deals.
I mean, I think everyone in their working life has occasionally been a little bit sneaky for whatever reason. And I think with Black Friday coming up, one assumes that there are probably going to be quite a few people popping in a pretend meeting to secure themselves an extra half an hour to make sure they can bag the bargain that they want. And actually, the research that Rakuten's done is really interesting. Apparently, 1 in 10 Brits are willing to pull a sickie to get what they want on Black Friday, which is an extraordinary number, isn't it? So I think, if I can help people really, pull that off, I'd be proud to. I'd be proud to help the sneaky Brits among us.
Oh, well, I mean, with your wit and humour, have you got some cheeky ways you think you might be able to come up with some good excuses that are both plausible, funny, and will let you get away with it if you do get caught out?
I mean, let's be honest, if you're legitimately going to do it, don't try and make it funny. No one needs to be a comedian when they're trying to pull a sickie. Just go for something, just go hardcore, go funny tummy. No one wants to ask too many questions. No one wants to hear too many details about it. But no one wants to see or hear from you for 48 hours because they're scared. They don't want it. So go with that. Really amp it up. Don't do something half-hearted. Go full method on it. And then I think, you'll be laughing. Date yourself.
Download a few sound effects before you know it. You are going to be absolutely
lovely touch. Beautiful.
A bit of quality. Alex, so I mean, Rakuten is there for you for Black Friday to get those brilliant deals, but it's not just for Black Friday, is it? It's for the whole year.
Yes, definitely. I mean, if you sign up before Black Friday, it's a great time because from November the 25th to the 8th of December, you can get up to 15% cash back. So that's a really good reason to get involved. But then, yeah, you can do it all year round.
And what else can people find? How does it work? Because once they've got that login, what do they click on to make sure they get their cash back?
Well, it's basically the brands pay a commission to Rakuten, and then they will be then sharing that with their members. So all you have to do is sign up to the site. If you download the browser extension, it's really handy because as you're shopping anyway, you'll get a pop-up that says you can get cash back here. So you don't even have to remember as you go. It will help. But then you can also shop on the app as well.
Okay, and so Black Friday on the way, Christmas shopping to be done. What's the presents that everybody's dreading having to buy? Ellie, have you got someone you've got to get something special for this year or something difficult?
Do you know, I've got 2 kids and both of my kids' birthdays are next week. So they have birthdays and Christmas very close together. So
well, that was poor planning, wasn't it?
Oh, tell me about it. It's an expensive few months in my household. So yeah, trying to work out what to buy them and so they're not completely smart brats is that's always quite a tricky one. But you know what? They're they're only, they'll kind of be happy with anything, but I really try not to buy tat. I really do try and buy things that will last and will have a bit of a legacy. So thoughtful and mindful, which I think is a really good way to approach any sort of, shopping at this time of year.
Yeah, and buy them something they can then accessorize for Christmas, so you know what you're going to get next to the next shopping trip as well.
There you go.
Works every time. Alex, anyone that you've got a shop for that you're going to be making sure you're getting your Rakuten deals on?
Well, again, my kids have already circled everything in the Argos catalogue, so that will, luckily I can get cash back on that. And then I always find the in-laws always tricky because obviously want to get them a good gift. But there's sites like Jo Malone. Everyone loves a candle. I always think tricky person to buy for candle.
Yeah, and a bit of quality, and you can check out, because when you go to their home, if it doesn't smell fantastic, it's the candle you bought them at Christmas, they're not really your friends.
Yeah.
Give us those details again on how we get these amazing cashback deals.
Go on to rakuten.co.uk and sign up as a member. It's that simple.
Okay, you're going to spell that for us, aren't you?
Yes, it's Rakuten.
You nearly missed it. Rakuten, Rakuten is where you want to go to. And Ellie, what have you got going on? Is there a Christmas DVD that people could be buying via one of the sites at Rakuten?
Oh my God, a Christmas DVD? Are we in 1995? No, unfortunately, not a Christmas DVD. I mean, I've got a tour out next year. If people want to buy tickets for that, they're very welcome to come along. That would be lovely.
Okay, and where could we find you on the socials as well?
Oh, I'm on at Ellie Taylor on Instagram.
That's the way to do it. Then you can grab your tickets. And we'll probably even see what you do end up buying for the kids for Christmas, won't we?
Probably. Yeah, that's true. Everything's content these days.
It is, yeah. And if you get a hashtag gifted on the end as well, that would work. But meanwhile, for those who don't get away with that, Rakuten is there to get your deals, get your cash back, and you get your Prezi with the money that you get back, as well as what you save in the first place. Ellie Taylor, comedian and actor, and Alex Stedman, shopping expert from Rakuten UK. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, Belle has a brand new single released just a few days ago. She joins me now to tell me how it's all been going. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's good to catch up with you again. We spoke back in, I think, April with one of the single releases, and here we are, yet another. And how far down the line are we to getting an album out of you?
Yeah, I mean we're basically done with an album. I just don't want to release it until we're 100% happy with it.
So tweaks
yeah,
in the
in the
mixes,
pipeline.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you're 18 years old, hailing from Lichfield, and I mean, sharing your music nationally. I mean, last time we spoke, we talked about the CBBC stuff. You've had a huge amount of interest, and that's understandable with the sound that you're making.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been exciting. The last few months have been really busy as well, but yeah, I'm grateful to be doing the things that I love.
Where have you got to musically then? I mean, with the album, teetering on the brink of release, something we'll see in 2025, I am hoping. But is there a tour in the offing as well?
Yeah, I mean we've got quite a lot of things planned for next year actually, but I'm not allowed to announce anything just yet. But I do post things on my social media here and now. It's just like give little clues.
but you're no stranger to touring, because I mean you've done a schools tour in the past, haven't you?
Yeah.
And what was that like, to sort of inspiring kids when with their own musical journey?
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, I learned so much from that experience, especially because it was like kind of the first time I was performing my own music live when I was 15. But yeah, it was cool to see how people actually I mean, I still get messages today from like schools I visited 2 years ago saying how like my music impacted them, which is kind of the main reason why I'm doing it all. So yeah, it's really
Absolutely.
cool.
With the work that you're doing, I mean, how do you see this sort of progressing? I mean, what is the aim now? Because I'm going to guess you're going to play some really big venues in the not too distant future.
Yeah, I mean, music's kind of the main goal in my life. Like that's all I want to do. But yeah, we've got some new music. Well, but it's in the works that will hopefully be coming out soon in the new year. But yeah, it's music's my whole life, and I'm grateful to be able to write and release things that I'm actually really passionate about.
And I mean, it's that passion which comes across in your singing as well. I mean, you're writing and you're performing. It's all just a big part of you. It's very sort of real, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's my whole life I've just been surrounded by music. And yeah, I've got a piano right in front of me, which I'll probably play on after.
But I mean, one of the other loves of your life is porridge, I'm led to believe.
Yeah.
More of the background on this one. Did you make it yourself from scratch, or are you a kind of Quaker golden syrup girl?
No, I try and make it from scratch. I'm a bit picky with like my toppings and things. I'm like, has to be like coconut milk, and then I have like dark chocolate and almond butter and all the fiddly bits.
But is this another part of your social media stuff? Is there an Instagram channel dedicated to your breakfasting?
I should have one actually. I mean, it's in my bio, but everyone seems to find it very interesting. So I feel like I need to post a bit more about porridge.
Absolutely. I think we need a fix and possibly a song. I mean, could you write the anthem for porridge?
Yeah, I mean, like all of my songs are actually dedicated to porridge.
Fueled by porridge to bring the music to the world. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit about the single. That's not what hearts are for.
Yeah, so I actually wrote this one a few months ago. And it was this one's kind of my first ballad that I've released. And yeah, I think when I struggle to like talk about things, I find it writing down a lot easier. It's kind of cathartic for me, I guess you could say. And yeah, this was kind of the first time I've had to deal with like real feelings and kind of love for someone, and all the complex emotions kind of surrounding it. And yeah, I think when you know you love someone and you're not sure, or you know that they don't feel the same way about you, it can kind of feel quite degrading to you, make you question your own worth. And I think this song kind of portrays that universal feeling that I think all of us go through at some point.
With the production as well on this, I mean, obviously it's a song which is from the heart, and then from there you need someone to help you sort of envisage that and bring it to life. And Mike Rose is the person who's helped you do that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's my dad, so he's been on all of my songs. But yeah, I mean, I showed him because I wrote the song on a train. And then I kind of like made like a 4 chord progression thing on the piano, and it kind of just like went from there. And yeah, I showed it to him, and he was a bit skeptical at first, to be honest, because it was a lot different to all my other songs. But I was like, hear me out, please. And then yeah, it was a cool process, especially to see how from I think for any song to see from start to finish is really cool.
So a bit of a difference from your last 3 singles, but still something which is very you. And I think that's one thing that people will start to learn about you with the music. I mean, your heart is on your sleeve, particularly in this case, but your music and the way you share it is all about that sort of natural progression. It's a sort of a growing of yourself through the music, isn't it?
Yeah. I think for any musician, I think looking back at all their art, it is a kind of way of looking at, like, if I look back at like my first single to see my single now, it's quite cool to see the growth and the difference and like with the sounds and everything. But yeah, it's quite cool to see.
Well, you're building up quite a back catalogue already available online. So where do we find that and this brand new song?
Yeah, so you can find me on like all social medias. I'm very active on Instagram and TikTok, at Belle Rose. And yeah, you can find my music on all streaming platforms. I'm available everywhere. So yeah, I'm everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere. Belle is BELLE, KUMBLE-Rose is the what you're looking for on the spelling there to make sure you end up in the right place. Search for Belle and music. You will absolutely find her. Do listen to the tracks, download them, buy them, make the most of the music. This is the 4th single. We're looking forward to everything 2025 has to offer. For now, though, Belle, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on.
I don't know where to start. I don't know
Now, when it comes down to coaching, there are various people who may be less used to being coached than others. They could well be fairly senior in industry, or and they could be actually looking to help their managers within industry to get themselves feeling better and physically active. To tell us more, I'm joined now by George Vernon. How are you doing, sir?
Very well, mate. A massive, massive thank you for having me on.
Well, good to talk to you. And when it comes down to people's physical health and the fact that it also spurs on their mental health, it can really help in their business acumen as well. In as much as the better they feel about themselves and in their life, actually can have a really positive impact and outcome for their day-to-day work.
100%. If anybody wants to excel in absolutely any field of life, you've got to be completely close to that experience of life. And the only way to do that is to be functioning as best as you can possibly be.
And to do that, obviously, physical health ties in with all our general well-being. So people may need to sort of sometimes be encouraged to take the first step to get themselves into a healthier condition.
Definitely. And I think that encouragement of the first step often comes from a lack of knowledge. It's almost not knowing what's possible, it's not knowing how to do it. And from my experience, people lack motivation because they don't understand why they're going to get a result, how it's going to come, and when it's going to come. And when you're in that place of not knowing, not understanding, well, it's obviously very difficult to keep yourself motivated.
Yeah, particularly if someone's more used to a different type of motivation as well. I mean, you're dealing with people in business as well as many other clients who want to change their outlook on their physical life, and it could be someone who's very good at getting motivated in the world of sales, but not so much so when it comes to maybe getting moving.
Exactly. So I work with business leaders, and it's funny that you say that motivation comes from different aspects of our life. And some people might find it very, very easy to stay motivated in their job because they've built their whole identity around that. But when it comes to health, there's a bit of a disassociation between how improving their health is going to improve their life completely. So one of the first things that I do when working with people is I get to understand what their experience of life is. I want to know what they value most in life. And it's a process then as a coach for me to understand, well, how does improving your health, how does optimizing that to a level? And I'm not speaking about optimal health to an elite athlete level. I'm speaking optimal health for that specific individual. Well, how is that going to improve that person's experiencing of life with what they value most? And that will generally be both in business, but a lot of the time it's also away from business. It's having the energy to operate at 100% at work, but then come home and enjoy family time, enjoy life away, and be completely present there too.
And it's finding the time to do it is someone's excuse for not being motivated, and that is it's a big demotivator in itself, isn't it? Yeah, the pressures and time constraints that people have on their day-to-day lives can be a huge factor when it comes to them not doing something that actually, if they approached it in the right way, they'd be able to fit in.
You're exactly right. Time is only a constraint if you think it is, which sounds a bit crazy, so I'm going to elaborate on that. But truthfully, people come to me, and one of the first questions I ask them is, okay, so you want these results, how long do you want them to last for? And I'm yet to meet a person who will yet say to me, well, I want them to last permanently. You know, that's no one's never said not said that to me. And my question to them then is, well, if you are only going to do it when time becomes free, which is what people usually say, oh, I'll do when I've got a bit more time. I'll start in January. I'll probably have some more time then, or, I'll start on Monday. Next week will be better.
Mm-hmm.
And my question always is to them, well, if you want them to last permanently, but you're not willing to do it when time frees up, does that mean in the future you're never going to be busy again? And then the question, the obvious answer always is, well, yeah, realistically, I'm going to be as busy, if not busier. So my answer to that always is, well, if you're going to be as busy, if not busier, you need to start now, because realistically, if you can't do it now, when things do get busy in the future, you're essentially just saying that you're going to stop. So it's about, and then the question becomes, well, how do I make use of the time that I've got? And the way you do that is by understanding exactly what I said before. Well, how are you going to get results? What are the best methods to use? And what's the best way you can use the time you have available? I'm not saying you have to go and create a ton of time because you physically can't do that. You just need to know how to use your time more effectively. so you can start seeing results and things can start moving forward for you.
What's your journey been like as well? Because this is something you've experienced yourself in getting to where you want to be.
100%. I can't say any of this, and I'm not saying any of this just from, my high horse. I've been there through so many different ways. So my journey into health, it all started me as an amateur boxer. I went into amateur boxing to get fit for football when I think I was around 11 years old. So it was years and years and years ago now. Despite the fact that I always joke, if you're watching this on video, I do look about 17, but I promise I'm nearly 27. But so my journey started then, and that's when I really started to gain traction with this interest in optimal human health, because I went into a boxing gym truthfully to get fit for football, but also because probably a lot of my life was dictated at the time as an 11-year-old by fear. I was quite an anxious, nervous kind of young kid. I just didn't have that much confidence in myself, and boxing was a gateway out of that for me. It was the opportunity to be like a Muhammad Ali who isn't has no fear, who and that's how I saw it. I saw it as, it's wow, that they don't have that. They must never get scared. So that's my kind of gateway, and I slowly got magnetized more and more by boxing, gave up everything else, gave up football, everything else I was doing. And to cut a long story short, 8 years later, I'd had 32 amateur fights and found myself on this journey to understanding the science around health, because when I was 16, 17, I was really pushing it. So I went to college, I was studying for half the day for sports and exercise science. The second half of the day, I was training as an elite athlete, where there was a couple of the boxers who were on the same course, went on to GB boxing. They've gone on to box professionally with Frank Warren, Eddie Hearns, all of those kinds of people. And outside of that environment, I was led by coaches who didn't understand the science, and it pretty much meant I burnt out. I mean, I was training 2 to 3 times a day. I was weighing every ounce of food I ate. I even weighed my Christmas dinner that particular year. And it was an obsession driven from a lack of understanding of how to properly use science to get effective results. So you can probably hear that that's where my that's when it really cemented for me. I had this interest in optimal human health. I didn't quite get the optimal results myself. And overtraining, for anyone who's listening, presents similar to burnout as we all know it in the work environment and in business. And burnout, it manifested for me personally. It was like I had the flu constantly for about a year. I couldn't really train. I went from training 2 to 3 times a day, being ridiculously, ridiculously fit. And I mean, like, some very, very ridiculous numbers with running, with weightlifting, all that kind of stuff, to not really being able to do that much because I just felt so run down. I had so little energy. And it was a slow rebuilding process after that. It led me on to university, where I was fortunate enough with my results to have got a sports scholarship. So I was a funded athlete at university. Again, I'll cut the long story short. I slowly moved away from boxing over the years because I found such a love for coaching people to do something that I hadn't got. And I ended up going and doing my master's degree after I finished boxing. I did manage to box again at university, luckily, because I was surrounded by psychologists, sports nutritionists, strength and conditioning coaches. I had a foot physiotherapist. I had a full team around me that built me back up. But then it just came to a point where you choose in life, if you want to go all in on boxing, you have to go all in there. Or do you want to go all in on being a coach? And that was my choice. And I continued. I did my master's degree in strength and conditioning, which is training for elite athletes, after doing my sports and exercise science degree. And then throughout this whole time, I've always coached. I've always coached boxing, and I've always coached general health and wellness. And that kind of brings me to 2020, finishing my master's degree. I transitioned away from university. I set up a couple of business just as COVID kicks off. So my one business is me coaching myself, and then the second business is me coaching people to become coaches. So it was a business with my brother where we set it up as an education provider to qualify new personal trainers. Now, my mission behind that was that personal training is a BTEC standard of qualification. And for people with their health, they need a far better practitioner than someone who's just qualified to a BTEC level. So we were really driving to give those personal trainers that we qualified additional education. Now, That then kind of manifested for me again after finishing university, where I ended up doing so many different things. I was coaching on the gym floor, I was coaching classes, I was an amateur and professional boxing coach because I couldn't quite let go of the whole boxing identity. I was coaching personal trainers to become personal trainers. So we were qualifying them from zero qualifications to being a personal trainer with far better level of education and knowledge. And I was doing all these things, and funnily enough, I ended up nearly burning out again. And this time it was through business and through doing all these various different things. And my other coaching area was coaching business leaders, which is something that I've always done as well, alongside all of this. Now, it hit a point where it was either I continue splitting myself thin and energy is just going to dwindle, or I pick what I really want to do. And the thing that gave me the most fulfillment, the thing that I saw myself having the largest impact on a large scale, was coaching business leaders. That's because I know when I improve their health, I improve their well-being, I improve, that system in their life to optimize their health. They have such a large ripple effect on everybody else. And that was something that we couldn't quite do in the personal training market because of the way the marketplace is set up. If anyone's familiar with it, it's courses that you can do in 2 weeks online, and we just disagreed with it. We were trying to go completely to the other end, and it was going to be we could have done it, but it was going to be a longer way of achieving what we wanted to achieve now.
So what is the next step for somebody who hears what we're talking about here, whether it's joining your free £10 weight loss program or actually looking at the bigger picture on their life?
So for anybody listening, I'd definitely recommend following me on social media. I'm constantly posting free tips, free advice of how to tackle these aspects of your health and wellness. If people want to get involved in my free course, again, just drop me a message on social media. That's something that I'm always happy to give to the right person if they definitely need the help and it's definitely something they're going to use. But if you're just sat here listening to this and you want something to take away and you really want to, start implementing something today, I'd tell you to ask yourself a different set of questions than the ones that you have already been asking yourself. So I'd really ask yourself the question of, what does improving my health affect positively in my life? And what am I no longer willing to accept as a standard in my life? And because what happens if I continue living as I am right now, what are the negative consequences of that? And when you come at it from both angles, you start to create that vision of what you don't want and what you really do want. And it becomes so much easier to put things into into a plan to get to where you want to be. Because if you don't even know where you're going, how can you possibly reverse engineer a process?
Absolutely. And you're on most of the socials, I'm going to guess, as well. Threads, Insta, the lot?
Absolutely, the lot. LinkedIn's probably the place where I've got the most amount of followers. So if you wanted to give me a follow on LinkedIn, Instagram, I'm very active on Facebook as well.
So you're looking out for George Vernon and George Vernon _ on Insta and Threads. That's the easiest way. And then just search for the name on Facebook. Well, George, great to talk to you. Thank you for joining us. Keep up the good work and helping people get healthy.
Thank you very much, mate, for having me on.
All beginning on the 28th of November, the Trentham Winter Light Trail is going to bring a glorious, sparkling visage to the amazing grounds at Trentham. It's going to make Christmas special for so many, and it's the best event of its type in our region. Jonathan Ware joins me now to tell me more. How are you doing?
Very good. How are you?
All good here. And the Trentham Light Trail is going to absolutely wow people, isn't it? Because with the wonderful lighting setup that's going to be down there and the clever sort of theatre that's going to be part of it, this is going to be an event not to be missed.
Exactly that. And, we've got a great canvas to work on with Trentham because it's in its own right. It's a stunning venue and stunning grounds and visuals. But what we've added in there is some amazing light installations, soundscapes, interactive elements for the kids, and then just loads of kind of Christmas wandering, including a great après ski lodge bar and some great food traders as well. So all round, it's just going to be a really good Christmas day out.
Yeah, absolutely. Running to the public from the 29th of November through to the 31st of December, this is going to be absolutely brilliant. And it's not only just for the kids, is it? This is going to impress the parents and the grandparents too.
Absolutely, and that's what we've found. This is our first year at Trentham, but we've done these trails all over the country, and what we find is that although obviously the kids are really drawn to them, and there's something in there that they will love, you actually find that the parents get involved, the grandparents get involved, and it really is just a really kind of visual wonder, and it's it's definitely enjoyed by all for sure.
And, in the past we've had the likes of Walsall Arboretum and of course still have the Blackpool Lights Trail, and they always prove popular. But this is something which is not just about a few animations up and down a street. This is all about using as an already beautiful backdrop, lighting it like you've never seen before, and bringing it to life in a kind of magical way.
Exactly that, and I think if you're a regular Trentham goer, which I know a lot of people are, and it's a very popular venue, it's a chance to see it in a whole new light and in a different environment, and obviously seeing it in the dark with these amazing illuminations really adds a new dynamic. And if you haven't been to Trentham before, it's a great chance to come and see what is an absolutely stunning venue that hopefully means that you'll come back and see it all year round.
But the fact you have interaction as well is the other clever part too, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something we're really excited about everyone seeing there is there's a lot of interactive bits that predominantly the kids can get involved with, but like I said earlier, adults can get involved with these too, and that's everything from kind of stepping stones that the kids can walk along and they light up and make sounds, to drums that can be hit to activate lights, and it's certainly more than just something to look at.
Absolutely. I know that when I've been to the events, not having kids, I still get involved and enjoy this sort of thing. And I think we're all taken in and captivated by light, aren't we? It's part of who we are.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's a very kind of primal attraction for sure. And I think even people that kind of maybe don't always feel like they're going to get into the Christmas spirit, you'd be hard pushed to not be kind of wowed and certainly stop and take stock of what's in front of you with some of these installations. And of course, those that like to to kind of put things out on social media as well, it's a great chance for them to get some really kind of stunning shots for their content too.
Yeah, photo opportunities galore, and say the chance to really enjoy coming together as a family for the experience, and whatever your way of celebrating Christmas is, or whether it is just part of a time of year when we enjoy lights and the celebration that it may be for you and your family, this has got something for everyone of every background.
Absolutely, yeah, that's the thing. And what we're really hoping is that this can become everyone's kind of winter family activity that becomes a tradition for them. And certainly, year to year, this isn't going to be the same event every year. There's going to be new additions every year, improvements every year. And so we're really hoping people can get involved and it becomes a yearly tradition for them.
And how accessible is this? Because we are looking at more than a mile of lighting displays here, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And the trail, we've made it as accessible as we can. And we're very lucky that Trentham is already, very good on that front with regards to a lot of hard standing surfaces. We've added in ramps where we can and things like that to make sure that, anyone with mobility issues or certainly parents with pushchairs can maneuver well enough. So it's, we've been blessed with a really great venue to do this.
And once you've done the lights trail itself, all the other things down there, the likes of the food vendors, toasting marshmallows, and the lights on the children's fun fair amusements too are going to again sort of draw everybody into more of an evening and the enjoyment that they're going to get from it all.
Absolutely, and that's the great thing, that the trail is a really good sort of part of your day, and it's like you say, it's a mile long and it's a big thing to undertake. But then once you've finished, it's chance to take a load off, meet up with the family. The Après Ski Lodge bar is a firm favourite wherever we take that. It's fully immersive and very kind of ski lodge inspired. We also have these mini chalets which can be booked for 90-minute slots, which are just a fantastic spot for up to 10 people to have some drinks and some food after the trail, or indeed before the trail if they want to kind of warm up before they head out. And there's everything from mulled wine, really great hot chocolate, winter cocktails. Of course, there's some beers on tap for the parents as well, and then just some great food which we partnered with Trentham on to deliver, and there's some really good options there as well.
So lots of choice and the chance to enjoy an amazing evening. Costs vary depending on whether you're going at peak, standard or off-peak times. You can get all of those details on the Trentham website, trentham.co.uk, trentham.co.uk. Just look for the links to the lighting trail there. And what sort of time does all this run through?
So we open the trail at 4:30, just around the time it all starts getting dark, and then that goes through the evening. There are certain days where it's pulled a bit earlier, but typically it will run from 4:30 through till the last session being about 7:30. But once people are in the trail, that's just their entry time. They're free to then go at their own pace, enjoy it at their own pace, and there's no rush to get around it quickly.
So you book your entry time and then enjoy the walk or stroll or roll from there.
Exactly that.
So do check out those details, trentham.co.uk. This is going to make Christmas magical. Jonathan Ware, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So that's your lot for this week, Zoe. Thank you for joining us for that particularly special interview. And, of course, always good to have you along to talk about your antics.
Yes. Oh, don't forget, 7th of December. Nice Christmas fair. Come and get your gifts.
That's the way. Yeah, some brilliant stuff there. Loads of handmade stuff.
If you haven't heard it, go to the start.
It'll be fab. So, get yourself sorted, get yourself down there and have a brilliant time at that on the 7th in Shifnal. And that was 11 through till 4, wasn't it?
Yep.
Worthwhile checking out. Anything else you got going on that we can talk about whilst you're here?
I've actually signed up to do the half marathon in London again. It's the London Landmarks Half. And I'm going to be raising funds for the Shifnal Scouts.
Okay, that's another good one. So it sounds good to me. Meanwhile, we'll say goodbye for now, and we may see you this side of Christmas. If not, have a good Christmas, and I'll see you in the new year. Say goodbye.
Bye. See you later. Happy New Year, Jason. Happy Christmas.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.